Tonight, you don't need to learn or achieve anything. Just listen. What you're about to hear is not a lecture nor a lesson. It's a quiet story inspired by Buddhist philosophy, an invitation to rest while reflecting on what it truly means to be happy. Happiness, in this telling, is not something to chase or win. It's something that quietly grows when we stop comparing, when we stop demanding more, when we notice that the simple act of being alive already contains everything. This story will wander through gentle places, moments of gratitude, small joys, the calm that appears when we stop trying to make life different. Let the body soften, let the breath find its rhythm. As the words drift by, you may feel lighter, as if the night itself were breathing for you. There is no need to remember or understand, only to feel, only to rest in the quiet space between thought and sleep. Let us begin. There was a time when you believed happiness would come later, after the work was done, after you became better, after life finally looked the way you imagined. But somewhere along the way, you may have noticed, later never really arrives. It keeps moving forward, like the horizon, always just beyond reach. So tonight, you are invited to rest in the present, where happiness quietly waits. Not the happiness of excitement or victory, but the kind that lives in small things. The warmth of your blanket, the sound of your own breathing, the calm in knowing you've done enough for today. True happiness doesn't depend on perfection. It grows in the cracks between what you hoped for and what actually is. Like grass finding its way through stone, it appears in places where you thought nothing could grow. It doesn't need you to be special. It doesn't need you to be right. It only asks that you be here, awake enough to notice. In Buddhist philosophy, happiness is not a possession. It's not something to protect or defend. It's a state of openness, a freedom from needing things to be other than they are. When you stop comparing your life to another, when you release the story of better and worse, you begin to feel a quiet gratitude for the ordinary. The tea that cools in your hand, the breath that enters without asking, the simple fact that the heart continues to beat. Each of these is a doorway into peace. You do not have to push it open, just stand before it, and it will open itself. Perhaps happiness is not an emotion at all, but a kind of seeing, a clarity that notices the beauty woven through everything, even through sorrow, even through loss, to see life as it is and still say, this is enough. That is the quiet joy the old teachers spoke of. It cannot be bought. It cannot be stolen. It only reveals itself when you stop chasing it. Take a slow breath. Let it move through you like soft wind through a field. Everything you need is already here. The night holds you. The earth supports you. And life, in its simple kindness, is still unfolding within you. Let that be enough. Let that be happiness. Happiness, like the breath, is never only yours. It moves through you, but it also moves through everything around you. Each smile, each kind word, each gentle act of attention ripples outward and then returns in ways you may never see. When you share warmth, the warmth does not leave you. It multiplies quietly, invisible to the eye, but deeply felt by the heart. The Buddha once taught that joy is found not in possession, but in participation. To live is to be part of the endless exchange of giving and receiving. You inhale the air the trees release. They, in turn, breathe what you exhale. Even the stars you look at shine with light born long before you were here, offering their ancient glow so that your eyes may rest on wonder. You are not separate from any of this. The smallest kindness you offer becomes part of the great rhythm that keeps the world alive. There are days when happiness hides behind sorrow, when gratitude feels too heavy to hold. That too is part of the rhythm. A cloudy sky does not mean the sun has vanished. It is still there, warming the other side of the earth. So it is with joy. It may disappear from sight, but it has not gone. It simply rests, waiting for your next breath to call it back. If you can stay with the breath, even for a moment, you will feel that happiness has been breathing with you all along. True happiness is spacious. It does not cling. It welcomes change and trusts the movement of time. You don't need to hold on to make it stay. You only need to notice how it keeps returning again and again each time you open your heart. Happiness is not an object to guard, but a current to join. It flows through the act of forgiving, through the courage to listen, through the simple kindness of letting someone else be heard. And when you listen deeply to another person, to the wind, to your own heart, the line between you and the world grows thin. What remains is only connection, only warmth, only life living itself through you. So tonight, as you lie here in stillness, remember, happiness is not something to find. It is something that finds you when you stop searching. It arrives in the space you create by letting go. Let it arrive now. Let it settle softly in the center of your chest. Feel it expand with each breath. A gentle light, a quiet smile, a peace that asks for nothing. You are not chasing happiness. You are resting inside it. Happiness is quiet now, no longer a thought, no longer a question. It rests beneath words, like water beneath ice, waiting for the surface to soften. The world outside has slowed. The sounds have turned gentle. A faint breeze, a single bell in the distance, the hush before dawn. In this stillness, you can hear life breathing. You can hear yourself becoming part of that breath. Everything is alive. The trees in their sleep, the stones in their patience, the night in its silence. All of them are practicing the same truth. That to be at peace is not to stop moving, but to move without resistance. The monks call it suchness, just this, nothing added, nothing taken away. When you rest in suchness, happiness needs no name. It is the hum of existence itself, vibrating softly through all things. Listen closely. The sound you are about to hear is older than language, a chant, a vibration, a prayer without asking. It does not teach, it remembers. Each tone rises from breath, travels through the body, and returns to silence. That silence is not empty, it is full of presence. The presence that carries you, that forgives you, that loves you without condition. Let the voice of the chant become your own. Let it resonate in the chest, behind the eyes, in the space between thoughts. There is nothing to do now, only to listen, only to be. The chant will begin soon, like a tide returning to the shore. Let it take you, let it hold you. Each vibration is a heartbeat of the universe, each note a whisper of compassion. You may feel the borders of the body begin to fade. You may feel yourself dissolving into sound. That is peace. That is happiness, not found, not made, but remembered. Breathe once more. Let the air be your prayer. Let the stillness be your guide. You are safe. You are whole. You are home. Now listen, the chant will carry you where words can no longer go. Happiness widens when it is shared. It grows each time a heart opens to another. The smile you offer to a stranger, the hand you lift to help, the patience you give instead of anger. These are small acts, but they ripple farther than you can see. The world is woven of such threads. Each kindness, each moment of understanding strengthens the fabric that holds us all. When you breathe kindly, the air itself changes. When you speak gently, the sound carries peace beyond your hearing. Buddhist teaching calls this compassion, not pity, but the deep knowing that your joy and another's joy are not two separate things. You suffer together, you heal together, you awaken together. Imagine a candle lighting another. The first does not lose its flame. It becomes part of a greater light. So too with happiness. It does not lessen when shared. It expands, filling every space that will allow it. Look around, even in memory. The people who once showed you care, the voices that lifted you when you were tired, they are still here in the way you now comfort others. Compassion moves through generations, like wind through a forest, whispering, teaching, never-ending. To live with compassion is to trust that every being is walking the same mysterious road toward peace. Some stumble, some pause to rest, but all are carried by the same current of love. When you see this clearly, judgment softens, forgiveness becomes natural, happiness deepens into calm. The heart that loves the world does not belong to one person anymore. It becomes vast, like the sky holding every kind of weather. You can allow sorrow and joy to pass through without losing your balance. You can meet life as an old friend returning home. This is the happiness that endures, not the excitement of gaining, but the quiet strength of belonging. Every bird that calls in the distance, every ripple on water, every breath that reaches you is part of that belonging. You are not apart from it. You never were. Now, as the night deepens, let the heart open even wider. Let compassion flow freely, without choosing who deserves it. Let it include the tired, the forgotten, the ones still searching. Let it include yourself. There is no boundary where love should stop. The chant that will follow is the sound of that love. Voices rising together, becoming one breath. Listen as it forms and fades, as if the world itself were exhaling. Each note will remind you that happiness is not a possession, but a circulation, a movement of care from one life to another. Breathe gently. Feel the world breathing with you. The night is vast, but you are not alone inside it. Every heartbeat echoes through the same still air. You are part of the prayer that life is always singing. Rest inside that sound. Let it carry you toward peace. After the voices fade, a deeper quiet begins. The sound of the chant still trembles in the air, but underneath it, something slower is moving, a pulse older than memory. This is the still heart of happiness, the place that remains when everything else has passed. You can feel it in the small space between breaths, in the warmth that lingers after kindness is given, in the hush that follows a storm. It asks for nothing, yet it holds everything. The mind may try to name this peace, serenity, contentment, love, but each name falls short. Words are ripples, the heart is the lake itself. When you stop chasing definitions, the surface clears. What was once hidden begins to shine through. You see that happiness is not a goal reached by effort, but a home returned to by rest. You were never outside it. You only forgot how quietly it breathes. Think of the heart as a temple with open doors. Joy comes and goes. Sorrow comes and goes. But the temple remains, unchanged by weather or time. Inside, a lamp is always burning. Sometimes it flickers, sometimes it flares, yet it never goes out. That flame is awareness itself, the gentle knowing that whatever arises can also fade without fear. When you trust that, you begin to smile, even in the dark. The still heart does not reject the world. It includes it. Noise, silence, laughter, tears, all belong here. In its wide embrace, there is room for every being, every breath, every story still unfolding. To live from this heart is to move through life without closing. You meet each moment as it is, and each one bows back to you. The sky, the water, the stars, the people you love, the ones you have lost. All of them are mirrors of the same quiet light. Now breathe into that light. Feel it expand, reaching beyond the body, beyond thought, beyond time. It touches every corner of the night, then circles back to rest again within you. This is how happiness moves, a rhythm of giving and returning, like the tide, like the heart. It never truly stops. It only changes shape. Stay with this rhythm. Let it cradle you. Let it teach you that stillness is not absence but fullness beyond motion. You are not apart from it. You are the pulse itself, life listening to life. So when the chant begins again, you will already be inside its sound, carried by compassion, held by peace. Sleep gently in that knowing. The night will keep you, the heart will remember, and happiness, quiet and complete, will continue to breathe you until morning. Happiness is not only a feeling, it is a practice, a quiet art learned through living. Like breathing, it asks for patience, for attention, for a gentle rhythm that repeats again and again. Every moment is a chance to practice. When you wake, when you walk, when you listen, you can touch happiness with the smallest gesture. To practice happiness is to remember that peace is near. It is not hiding in a distant future, nor waiting for your life to be different. It lives in the way you notice things. The cool air against your skin, the sound of water somewhere unseen, the weight of your own body resting on the earth. When you truly see these things, you are already home. Begin with one breath. Feel it rise and fall. Feel how it belongs to the whole of life. Then in your mind, thank the breath for visiting. Thank the air for its endless giving. Gratitude is a form of awareness. It opens doors that effort cannot. Through it, ordinary things begin to shine. The cup in your hand, the ground beneath your feet, the face of a friend, all become sacred. Happiness grows quietly in the soil of appreciation. Next, practice kindness, not the grand kind that seeks reward, but the simple kind. A word softened, a pause before judging, a smile that says, "I see you." When you do this, something within relaxes. You no longer stand apart. You stand with. Kindness turns separation into belonging. It teaches the heart to trust the world again. At times you will forget. That too is part of the practice. Even forgetting shows you where gentleness is needed. When impatience comes, greet it kindly. When sadness returns, let it rest beside you. To resist emotion is to feed it. To welcome it is to release it. This is how the practice deepens, not by perfection, but by willingness to begin again. The Buddha said, "Just as rain falls on all things equally, so does compassion touch every being." When you let happiness flow through you like rain, it reaches places you will never see. A kind thought sent silently travels farther than the voice. A breath released in calm becomes calm for another. You may not witness the result, but the world will feel it. Happiness practiced is happiness shared. Now rest for a moment. Let the breath settle. Let the heart widen. You are practicing even now, not through doing, but through being. Each heartbeat, each breath, each quiet thought is part of the same offering. Happiness does not demand greatness. It simply asks you to be present, to stay soft, to keep loving through the small acts that shape the day. This is the practice. This is the way. Let it carry you like a river returning to the sea. Let it remind you that peace is not something you find. It is what remains when you stop forgetting. The night is not the end of things. It is the beginning of light. Somewhere beyond the clouds, the sun is already rising, not only in the sky but inside you. Even while you rest, something within is awakening. This awakening is quiet. It does not shout. It unfolds softly like the petals of a flower that open to the unseen warmth of dawn. Happiness, too, opens in this way, not as a sudden blaze, but as a slow remembering of what was always here. There is a light inside the heart that never goes out. Even in the darkest moment, it waits patiently, ready to glow again. When the body grows tired, the heart begins its secret work. It repairs what was frayed. It forgives what was harsh. It gathers all the scattered pieces of you and brings them back home. This is why rest is holy. Sleep is not an escape. It is a return, a quiet reunion with the part of you that never stopped shining. So let the breath deepen. Let the weight of the day fall away. You are crossing a bridge of dreams toward the morning within. In that inner morning, the world feels new, even if nothing outside has changed. You wake with softer eyes, able to see beauty where you once saw only routine. You move slower, not from weariness, but from wonder. You listen more. You rush less. This is what awakening feels like. Not an event, but a gentle shift from striving to being. The teachers of old said, "The enlightened one still sweeps the floor." To be awake is not to float above the world, but to walk it kindly, to feel the cool floor beneath your feet, to bow to what sustains you, to give thanks before you speak. This is the practice of an awakened heart. It is the morning that never ends. Happiness does not arrive with the dawn. It is the dawn. It brightens everything it touches, not by changing the world, but by changing how you see it. When you breathe with awareness, each moment becomes luminous. When you smile for no reason, the universe smiles back. This is the quiet radiance of being alive. So rest even as light returns. Do not hurry to rise. Let the morning unfold slowly, inside and around you. Each ray of light that enters the room is also entering your heart. And as it fills the silence, you realize the peace you sought in the night is the same peace that greets you in the morning. The world is new again, and so are you. Breathe in, breathe out. You are awake. You are whole. You are home. As the light of dawn touches the world, there comes a gentle stillness, a pause between breaths, between night and day, between the dream and what we call waking. This is the moment of returning, not returning to effort or to noise, but to the quiet, knowing that has been with you all along. The world begins to stir. Birds call softly in the distance. A breeze moves through the trees. The air feels new, as if the earth itself were taking its first breath. You are part of that breath. You always have been. Everything that has come and gone, each thought, each sound, each heartbeat has carried you to this point. and now there is nothing left to chase, only the gentle rhythm of life continuing. In this light, the idea of happiness dissolves. There is no longer a seeker and a goal, only the simple awareness of being here. To return to silence is not to abandon the world. It is to hear it more clearly, to feel its tenderness. You notice the details, the hush between sounds, the glimmer of dust in a sunbeam, the slow turning of time. All of it is a prayer, spoken without words. When the monks chant, their voices rise and fall like the breath of the earth. No one owns the sound. No one leads or follows. It is life singing to itself. You can feel that same chant within your chest, the quiet hum that connects you to everything. It has no beginning, no end. It only continues. A circle of sound and silence, of giving and receiving, of being and letting go. This is where happiness rests, not in excitement, not in certainty, but in the space where everything belongs. Silence holds it all. The laughter, the tears, the questions, the peace. In silence, nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. Everything is absorbed into the great compassion that breathes through existence. So now let yourself drift into that silence. Let the breath slow. Let the body melt into the bed of the world. The voice that has guided you can fade now. The words can dissolve. Only the essence remains. The still pulse of life that has always carried you. Feel it, trust it. You are home. You are safe. You are whole. The chant will begin soon. Let its sound wash over you like light returning to the sea. Each note is a wave of compassion, each pause a doorway into peace. You do not need to follow, you are already within it. Let it take you where words cannot go. Let it sing through you and beyond you until only stillness remains. Happiness is not only found in stillness, it also lives quietly in the movement of an ordinary day. When you rise from sleep, when your feet touch the cool floor, when morning light spills across the room, these too are moments of practice. The breath continues, the world continues, and each small act, no matter how simple, is a doorway into peace. You may hear the sound of water, a kettle beginning to sing, rain tapping on the window, a distant river murmuring its old song. Each sound invites you to listen, not with the mind that names, but with the heart that feels. To listen in this way is to participate in life. You are not apart from the sound. You are the space that allows it to be heard. Even the hum of the city, the shuffle of footsteps, the soft creak of a chair, all of it belongs to the same rhythm. As you move through the day, happiness follows like light follows a flame. It does not need to be chased. It only needs to be noticed. A gentle wind brushes your cheek. The scent of tea rises from the cup. A child laughs somewhere nearby. Each is a reminder that life itself is an endless offering. The smallest things carry the weight of the infinite. To notice them is to bow. To bow is to awaken. Even work can become a meditation. When you wash a dish, you feel the cool water. When you fold a shirt, you feel the texture of cloth between your fingers. If your mind drifts, bring it back to the movement. Bring it back to the breath. The act itself is not what matters. It is the awareness behind it. In that awareness, each task becomes sacred. Each gesture becomes an expression of gratitude. The day no longer feels like something to endure. It becomes something to honor. Happiness is not separate from effort. It flows through honest labor, through patience, through presence. When you give yourself fully to what is before you, you discover that even the ordinary shines with quiet grace. The monk sweeping the floor, the farmer planting seeds, the teacher writing on the board, each one is practicing happiness, not through achievement, but through attention. When the body and the breath move together, there is no division between doing and being. As the day unfolds, you will meet others. Some bring ease, some bring challenge. Each encounter is another chance to practice compassion. When someone speaks harshly, you can choose not to echo the harshness. When someone is kind, you can let that kindness linger longer in your chest. Every person you meet is carrying their own invisible story. To meet them gently is to honor that story. This is how happiness extends itself, quietly, without demand. And when the world feels heavy again, when tasks pile up and time feels too short, pause for one breath. Look around you. The light has not left. The breath has not stopped. Even now life is whispering, "Be here. This is enough." The truth of happiness is not found in escaping the world, but in returning to it with open eyes and a tender heart. As evening approaches, you may feel the familiar rhythm of the day begin to slow. The sky softens, the colors fade into quiet. You feel the body exhale without needing to control it. In that exhale is release. In that release is joy. Everything you carried, the thoughts, the worries, the plans, can rest now. The world continues its song, and you, a single note within it, are exactly where you belong. When you live this way, each day becomes a circle, not a line. Morning folds into night, and night into morning again. There is no need to grasp one or fear the other. Both are part of the same breath, the same endless prayer. Happiness is simply this: to live the day completely, to rest the night completely, to trust that life knows the way. Breathe once more. Let the breath fill you with light. Let the quiet of the evening remind you that joy never truly ends. It only changes form again and again, like the turning of the earth. Between one breath and the next, there is a space. It is so small that you rarely notice it, the soft pause before the inhale begins again. In that pause, everything rests. The world is neither arriving nor leaving. It simply is. This is the secret of time, not the ticking of clocks, but the endless circle of stillness that hides inside movement. When you walk through the day, you may think of time as a river, always carrying you forward. But if you look closely, you will see that the river contains countless small pools of calm, moments when the current slows, moments when the water mirrors the sky, moments when the rush stops and you glimpse eternity inside the ordinary. Happiness lives in those pauses. We spend much of life chasing what's next, the next task, the next success, the next understanding. Yet all along the miracle happens between the things we plan. The smile before words are spoken, the quiet just after laughter fades, the warmth of someone's hand before it lets go. If you learn to rest there, you will never feel rushed again. Buddhist teachers call this awareness the gate between moments. To enter it, you don't have to change your life. You only have to stop running. Even one breath, fully noticed, is enough to open the gate. There, time loosens its hold. Past and future lose their edges. Only presence remains, soft, vast, unhurried. You can practice this anywhere. When you wait in line, listen to the sounds around you, a door opening, a cough, the wind moving through leaves. When you pause between words and conversation, feel the air that carries the silence. That silence is alive. It connects you to the person before you in ways no language can. The heart speaks most clearly when the mouth is quiet. Think of music. What makes a melody beautiful is not only the notes, but the space between them. Without space, sound becomes noise. Without silence, words lose meaning. The same is true of living. The pauses give shape to our days. They allow joy to settle. They allow sorrow to breathe. In every ending there is the beginning of peace. As the sun crosses the sky, light itself practices this truth. It flickers through leaves, rests on a wall, disappears behind a cloud, then returns again, different, yet the same. Each flicker is a reminder that nothing lasts forever and nothing is truly lost. Even shadow is a form of light, waiting for its turn to shine. So pause now, feel the breath as it pauses too. Inhale, exhale, and in between, stillness. This stillness is not empty. It is full of everything: memory, possibility, love, forgiveness, all suspended, like dust floating in a beam of sun. When you rest there, you are not outside time. You are its center. The world moves through you, and you remain unmoved. Let the day slow down. Let the spaces widen. You do not need to fill every moment. You only need to meet it gently and let it pass through you. Even now, as you listen, the breath is moving in rhythm with the earth. Your stillness is part of that movement. The spaces within you are what hold the world together. In the end, it is not the hours or the years that define a life, but the quiet light that glows between them. This is the practice of timeless happiness, to live fully in the spaces between. When you trust the pauses, you begin to hear the universe breathing. You begin to see that peace has always been waiting there between one heartbeat and the next. Stay in that light. Let it rest upon you. Let it teach you that the most sacred moments are often the ones that seem like nothing at all. Change is the first truth we meet and the last one we learn to love. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you are is in motion. The breath changes, the body changes, the sky itself changes shape from moment to moment. We try to hold still, to make time stop, to keep what we love safe, but nothing born of life was made to stay the same. And this, though it feels like loss, is the quiet gift of change. A leaf does not fall in sorrow. It lets go because the branch has taught it how. The tree does not mourn the leaf. It trusts that spring will come again. The wind carries what was and makes room for what will be. You are made of that same rhythm, a rhythm of endings and beginnings woven together so tightly they are never truly apart. To resist this flow is to struggle against your own nature. To move with it is to be at peace. Think of all the selves you have been: the child who dreamed, the one who tried and failed, the one who loved, the one who grieved. Each version of you still lives quietly in the folds of memory, teaching what only time could teach. You are not a single story. You are a library of moments. Each chapter ends, but the book continues, and in each ending, a new understanding grows, gentler, wiser, more free. In Buddhist thought, impermanence is not a punishment, it is a mercy. Because everything changes, pain cannot last forever. Because everything changes, each breath is a new beginning. Even sorrow, when seen with a soft heart, reveals its hidden kindness. It shows you what matters. It teaches you to hold lightly. It invites you to love without possession. What a gift that is, to love for the sake of loving, not for keeping. The seasons know this truth. They change without regret. They do not rush their return. Winter accepts its stillness. Spring opens again. Summer gives itself to warmth. Autumn releases what it cannot hold. Each one bows to the next. Each one completes the circle. If the seasons can trust this turning, so can you. Let yourself be carried by the quiet grace of change. When you look back on your life, you may see things you thought you lost, people, dreams, moments, but look closer and you will notice they are not gone. They have changed form. Love becomes memory. Memory becomes wisdom. Wisdom becomes kindness. Nothing is truly lost when it has been fully lived. Even pain transforms when held with understanding. It becomes compassion, the purest expression of happiness. So let the heart breathe again. Let it open to what is new. The future is not waiting somewhere ahead. It is being born in every moment of awareness. You do not have to know what comes next. You only have to stay awake to the unfolding. Trust the movement. Trust the letting go. The river does not ask where it will end. It simply flows, and in that flowing finds freedom. Change is the heartbeat of the universe. It breaks and mends. It empties and fills. It ends and begins again, forever. This is the rhythm of happiness, the music beneath all things. When you listen deeply, you can hear it in your own breath. Each inhale a birth, each exhale a death, each pause eternity. Nothing to fear, nothing to cling to, only the gift of being part of it all. Now rest in that knowing. Let change become your teacher, your companion, your prayer. The sun will rise, the moon will wane, the tide will turn, and through it all you will remain, not unchanged, but unbroken. Because to change is to live, and to live is to love again. There is a heart within you that never truly sleeps. Even as the body grows heavy, even as thought dissolves into dream, it keeps its quiet watch. It listens for the rhythm of life, the soft hum beneath everything that changes. You may not hear it when the day is loud, but in the hush of night, when the world has set down its burdens, the heart speaks in its oldest language, silence. This silence is not empty. It is full of remembering. It remembers every kindness ever shown, every breath ever taken, every moment you felt alive. It remembers what the mind forgets, that happiness was never something to earn, but something that breathes through you even now. When you rest deeply, it continues to move, circulating light through every corner of your being like a tide that never retreats. The heart that never sleeps belongs to more than you. It is the pulse of mountains and oceans, the echo of stars, the whisper of wind through trees. It beats in the chest of every living thing, and in that beating all separations fade. The same rhythm that moves your blood moves the rivers. The same quiet force that turns the moon turns your breath. This is how the universe prays, not with words, but with continuity. When you listen closely, you may sense a shimmering presence, a subtle awareness that remains even when thought stops. It has no name, but it feels like home. The ancients called it Buddha nature, the awake heart, the pure mind that never closes its eyes. You don't need to seek it. You are made of it. Every cell, every sigh, every quiet joy is its reflection. Imagine a candle burning in an endless hall. It flickers, but it never goes out. Each life, each moment is one small flame in that infinite field of light. When one flame fades, another rises. When one heart rests, another begins to beat. And through it all, the great heart continues. This is what it means to never sleep, to remain awake not in effort, but in love, to shine not by will, but by nature. Sometimes you may wonder, what happens when we fall away, when the story ends, when the breath leaves? The answer is written in the rhythm of everything you see. The tide goes out, but only to return. The tree drops its leaves, but only to bloom again. The moon disappears, but only to rise. Life is a circle of resting and rising, sleeping and waking, appearing and vanishing, and yet never ending. You are part of that circle. When you remember this, fear loosens its hold. Loss becomes a teacher. Even death becomes another word for change. The heart that never sleeps holds all of it. It holds joy and sorrow without resistance, without judgment, without end. You can rest in that heart. You can trust its rhythm. It will keep beating long after the story of you has turned the page. So tonight, as the breath slows, as the mind drifts, know that something within you is still awake. It will carry you through the dark as gently as the ocean carries the moonlight. You do not have to hold on. You only have to float. The heart will remember the way. It always has. Let go now. Let the waves move through you. What you are cannot be lost. What you love cannot be taken. Everything that begins will end, and everything that ends will begin again. This is the quiet miracle of a heart that never sleeps, the endless compassion of being alive. Rest inside that rhythm. You are safe. You are whole. You are eternal. The night begins to thin, darkness softens into gray, and somewhere beyond the horizon, light gathers its breath. You can feel it before you see it, a warmth behind your eyelids, a promise in the air. The world is exhaling, and you are exhaling with it. The long dream of night is giving birth to morning. Light does not arrive suddenly. It seeps in, quiet as forgiveness. It touches the corners of the room, the folds of fabric, the curve of your hand resting on the blanket. Each touch is gentle, as if the light remembers how carefully it must wake the world. This is how happiness returns, not with noise, but with noticing. In the half-light of dawn, everything feels new again, not because the world has changed, but because you have. The eyes that meet the day are softer now. The heart that listens beats with more trust. You have journeyed through the long night, through silence and sorrow, through letting go and becoming. And now you arrive here, in the bright stillness of beginning. This light does not chase the dark away. It simply reveals that the dark was never separate. They complete each other like breath in and breath out, like life and rest, like sound and silence. One cannot exist without the other. When you understand this, there is no need to choose. You can hold both. You can love both. The ancient teachers said, "The lotus blooms in muddy water." Light grows out of darkness, not despite it. The same is true of you. Every wound has made space for compassion. Every mistake has taught tenderness. Every ending has carved room for the next beginning. This is the grace of being human, to break open and let the light through. As the sun rises, its warmth moves across the earth like a blessing. You can almost hear it whisper, "All that you seek is already within you." You do not need to chase the day. You only need to open to it. The light will do the rest. It will touch your breath, your thoughts, your skin. It will turn ordinary things into small miracles. A cup of water gleaming, the scent of air after rain, the sound of your own laughter returning from a distance. Each is the light reminding you you are alive. In this new morning, happiness is no longer a goal. It is the atmosphere itself, the quiet radiance that holds every living thing. You can move slowly now, without fear of falling behind. There is nowhere to get to. You are already there. The world is not a race. It is a song, and you are one of its notes. Breathe with it. Let the melody continue through you. If you close your eyes again, you will see that the light is not only outside, it shines behind the lids, in the soft pulse of the body, in the awareness that listens even when the ears are still. This is the same light that watched over you through the night. It never left. It only changed form. Now it takes the shape of a day, a thought, a chance to live again. And as you move, it moves with you, within every gesture, every breath, every quiet choice to be kind. So let morning find you gently. Let its brightness unfold slowly, like a flower learning the language of air. Do not rush to fill the silence. Let it stay a little longer. Let it remind you that light and silence are the same thing, spoken in different ways. The heart that never sleeps knows this truth. It beats now in rhythm with the sun. You are that rhythm. You are that light. You are the quiet joy of another beginning. As the world awakens, the chant will return. A sound rising from deep within the earth, the echo of countless mornings before this one. Let it carry you once more into the great circle of life, where rest becomes awakening, and awakening becomes rest. There is nothing left to seek, nothing left to change, only the vast simplicity of being here, in this breath, in this light, complete. The teaching fades, but the stillness remains. You have heard enough for now. Nothing more is needed. Only the quiet that follows, the place where understanding becomes peace. There is no effort here, no goal to reach, just the body resting in its own rhythm, the mind unfolding like petals in the dark. Each breath softens what the day has held. Each exhale carries you closer to silence. In this stillness, even sound becomes gentle. Listen carefully. The world is not sleeping. It is singing softly. The song of night insects rises like a prayer without words, a reminder that life continues in calm harmony. Let the breath settle. Let the body sink. Let the thoughts drift away like leaves upon a stream. There is nothing left to do, only to rest. The quiet song of insects carries you deeper into calm. Their rhythm calls you home, to release what remains, to surrender to peace. These gentle sounds were recorded at a temple in the rich nature of Mount Koya, where the mountains meet the clouds and silence has its own language. Through the GASSHO app, these sounds are shared so that this peace may reach you wherever you are. GASSHO is more than an app. It is a small temple that travels with you. Inside you will find guided meditations, teachings drawn from Buddhist wisdom, and even the chanting of sutras offered not as lessons but as quiet companions for the heart. Each time you open it, you step into the same stillness that lives here tonight, always waiting, always ready to receive you whenever you wish to return to silence. Now let the sound of the world take over, the chirring of insects, the whisper of wind, the breath of the night itself. They will hold you as you rest. There is nothing left to do, only to breathe, only to be. Rest now, sleep now. The night is complete.
し神聖思考作修正理義風習伝法安者牛法弁知としか知症法求症有一世界先生欲の調整感銘特性症法有研究悪臭症福心症有常連定本線不利合